Good evening and welcome to our YouTube channel Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Tonight we have episode 4 of Deadlight and Blackwater Creek with Jeff Wilkins as the GM. Let's recall what happened in our last episode. Having surveyed the house and the grisly remains, the investigators spent some time speculating the reasons and purpose of the Deadlight. They formulated a plan should they encounter the thing. Then they made their way back to the diner. As they approached the diner, they knew something was amiss. No lights were on, and one of the cars was missing. The door was unlocked, and upon entering, they found, in the place where Amelia had been sitting, a pile of ashes and her octopus locket. The locket had a picture inside of a strange fish-like baby. Behind Dr. Bundy on the floor was what was left of the bootlegger, a few buckles from his overalls and a pile of ashes. There was a banging on the door in the office. The investigators prepared their plan to trap the entity in the box using the blood of the young man they had gathered earlier. Dr. Bundy drew the symbol on the box, and Sammy kicked in the door. Inside, the old couple, Winifred and her husband Teddy, had been trapped along with the other man, Sam. They explained that shortly after the investigators had left the diner, a man came bursting in from the rain. Unexpectedly, the waitress, Mary, seemed to be part of the plot and pointed a gun at the diners. She and the man locked the three of them in the office, taking their keys and stealing their car. They had been trapped for over an hour. Sammy Stack noticed the glow first and alerted the rest. As they watched in fascination, a creature floated into the kitchen, glowing in iridescent blue and looking, for all intents and purposes, like a jellyfish. The thing was actually beautiful, and Professor Lewis became mesmerized. Bundy and Frank pushed the box forward so that it stood between the creature and themselves. Dr. Bundy suggested that if the creature passed the box, everyone should run away. They waited and watched, but the ritual had not worked. The creature passed the box. Dr. Bundy became terrified and ran out of the kitchen and then out the front door of the diner and stopped. Cassandra and the old couple were trapped in the office. Something in Frank snapped, and he chose to complete the ritual using the nearest person, Winifred's husband, Teddy. In his temporary insanity, Frank forced Teddy to become the Deadlight's newest victim. He then completed the ritual and trapped the entity in the box and used the wax to seal it shut. He had saved the others, but at the cost of his sanity. The others viewed him as a murderer of an innocent man. But the creature had done its work, and no actual evidence remained of a body. The investigators buried the box in the woods. Exhausted, they rested in the diner, waiting for the sun to come up after so stormy a night. And that's where we left it.
Nice.
With us all sitting in the diner staring at Frank like, stay over there.
Oh. So, I forgot to do one piece of bookkeeping. Professor Lewis, Cassandra, and Harriet, I believe you all gained points in Cthulhu Mythos.
Yes.
Do you have that written down? Can you tell me what they were?
4.
5.
7.
Okay, so let's quick average say 5. Corey, Jerome, and Sammy, you guys can add 5 to your Cthulhu Mythos, and then subtract. And thanks to Tom, he reminded me that I was kind, so I'm going to be unkind. Let's start off with an unkind. Whatever you had, you guys took half that from your sanity. Go ahead and take the full amount.
That's from your max sanity.
Right. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
All right, so you all pretty much eventually got to sleep last night. Some rough dreams were had as everybody had a really hard night. you all pretty much were just now awakened by the sound of an old farm truck starting up outside the diner. And you kind of hear this truck leaving, and you hear in the distance a yelling of, "Ah!" kind of out the window. And it's Cassandra. You see on the table next to you, there's a note and a set of keys. And it just says, "Cassandra, please return my car when you're done with it. Frank."
Okay. So she I guess she'll stare out the window, watching the truck ride away out into the distance.
Yep.
And she looks around to see if everybody else is awoke.
Yeah. What's the matter, dear?
Oh, it's Frank. I guess last night's charades, for lack of a better word, I guess they got to him, and he left. He left us, but he also left us the keys to his vehicle. So.
Then there's nothing to stand between us and going on our mission.
Yes. Without everything that happened last night, I nearly forgot what we were out here for.
Does anybody need a reminder, actually?
No, this is just something that she's saying.
Yeah.
And she kind of shudders at the memory of what happened last night with the deadlight.
Right.
And it nearly killing her, so she shudders.
Yeah.
Is it still raining outside, or is it has the sun
So,
come up?
let's see. Late September, sun would come up, what, 6:37?
About 6:37 clockish. Yeah.
And the rain has let up almost completely. It's still cloudy out, but after the deluge that you guys went through, this is like, anybody can deal with a little bit of drizzle, that sort of thing.
Mm.
And you can almost, the sun's just kind of trying to creep out.
Okay. What I'll do is, because I imagine that even though we stay here the night, our clothes are still like pretty much wet, not even damp. It's wet still, due to that deluge.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go out and grab my suitcase and grab some clothes, like a change of clothes, and I'll ask anybody else if they want me to bring something in for them.
Sure.
Yes, dear. Bring me in something.
Yeah, if you could, that would be awesome.
Sure, yeah.
Apparently, they're going to make Cassandra carry it all.
I guess, yeah. Just bring in my case.
Mr. Stack, would you mind helping Cassandra?
Why, sure.
I'll make coffee for everyone.
So at the moment, you guys, there's no one else in the diner, but it's early morning, and I believe today is Saturday. So there's a chance that customers might be coming in soon.
Oh, we got to get out of here.
Question: What happened to the old woman that was with us?
Question.
She took off in the middle of the night too.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that the gas station beside us? Is there anybody in the gas station, or
no?
Does it? I can't remember. Is it boarded? Does it look like it's boarded up, or is it like?
It was just closed. That's all.
Oh, it's just closed. Okay.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I think we should get out of here before people do show up.
Yeah.
They'll be asking questions that we can't answer.
I know.
All right. Well, let's I say let's get dressed quickly and just lock the front door if we can.
I agree.
Sure.
And while And while we're here, we might as well fill up on gas.
Good idea. Good idea. And you might even, some of you could probably stuff your pockets with some diner food for breakfast.
Yeah, there's nobody to pay our tab, so.
Right.
So.
Check the register for money, dear. There's probably.
I know.
Ooh.
I know I wasn't here, but I can't remember the waitress. I can't remember exactly. She's gone, right?
She's one of the bad guys.
Oh yeah.
She was part of the shenanigans. And she and Billy, I don't think you met Billy, Corey, but they took off in the middle of the night.
Okay.
The plot seems to be that they were intending to rob the doctor and his daughter, and that's when the Deadlight got released. All right.
Did you want to do that, Harriet? Did you want to check the register?
No, I was joking.
Okay.
I
will. I'll go towards the register after bring clothes in.
Okay. Give me a luck roll.
Why not?
Yeah, we need that.
There is 42 cents.
Huh. That's like
Well, there's 42
five
cents in my
cups of
pocket.
coffee.
That's some coffee. That's breakfast right there, actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
1920.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Mary would have actually pilfered all the money as she left.
All the bills.
So, unless anybody has anything specific they want to do, I assume you get back in your car and start heading out to Blackwater Creek.
Yeah.
Yes. Mr. Stack, would you mind driving for us?
Why, surely.
Let's see. Sammy, did you happen to? This is outside the game. Did you happen to put any points in drive?
I might just give me a second. I might have some drive.
Yeah.
You did, Sammy, too.
I have some.
Go ahead. What's your number at right now?
Just give me a second. I'll look for drive here. No, I don't have any in drive.
Okay.
I do if we need it, but it sounds like Sammy's already driving, so I'm not gonna pull over.
Yeah, that's fine. So you guys are headed out. You're not exactly sure how far you have left to go, but if you had to guess, it would probably be about a good 2-hour drive. Now, the roads are still a mess. It's dried up right now, or things are drying up, but after such a heavy downpour, the roads are still kind of muddy. So that's why the long time. You're still going to have to be kind of careful. But it's daytime, you're not fighting dark night, lightning and thunder.
Yeah, we can see where we're going, so that works.
Yes, exactly. You're kind of... Actually, let's do this. On this long drive, why don't you guys just take a minute now and just give me some car talk as to, do you guys have any ideas or plans what you might do once you get to the town?
Well, we need to just find out.
What happened to the professor?
Yeah, well, we were told that the people were kind of hostile.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they say that there was a family that was okay, that they sort of invited them in, a place that probably...
that was the family that they were staying with, I think.
No, whereabouts? How far is it from the family? Maybe you should go check up on the family.
Yeah, that's probably the first place we should go. Didn't we have a little map?
You did. I I can show that to you guys if you want.
Sure, let's go see.
That's a place to start.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best choice, in my opinion, but...
That's right. It was just across a covered bridge, or it's before the covered bridge.
Before you guys would be coming from the east on the right-hand side.
Okay. So before we get to the covered bridge. And the family, did they live in that little square above the covered bridge?
The gentleman that drew the map for you, he could actually, neither one of them they could remember.
That's right, the kids.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
And if you remember, this was just kind of a crudely drawn map.
Sure.
Like he did it from memory, so it may not be 100% accurate.
Okay.
So was the hamlet itself, though, right after the covered bridge there, that little square?
That's it. You're looking at it. It's basically just a little teeny tiny town.
Okay.
You know, if you blink, you're going to.
So it's basically like 3 or 4 buildings, really. Right. Okay.
Now there are other farmhouses, like 2 miles down the road, there might be a farmhouse, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so let's see. You're driving along. It's about 10:30 in the morning, and you hear a loud bang. Sammy, give me a drive roll.
Like a gunshot bang, or?
You'll know in a second.
Oh, I missed it by 4.
Okay.
You could use spin a luck, right?
You could do that if you want.
All right, we'll do that.
Okay. So you spend your 4 points and then just subtract that from your luck total.
Yep.
So successfully then, your back tire just blew out. But you managed to grab the wheel, you grabbed hold of the car, and kind of skid a little bit in the mud and pull off to the side of the road. Yeah, so what would you like to do?
I'll get out and see see what exactly happened.
Yep, I'm getting out and seeing what the
Sure.
thing was.
It looks like somewhere along the line you picked up a nail in the tire.
Do we have a spare?
Is there a... Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be nice. You won't even have to roll a luck. We'll say Frank was prepared and diligent, so there's a spare tire in the back. You're going to probably have to unpack some of the clothing and stuff to get to it, but it's a minor inconvenience.
Okay, I'll proceed to do that and change the tire then.
Sure.
I'll help you.
Okay. The rest of you, are you staying in the car or getting out of the car?
Yeah.
I'll help if I can, but I don't think more than 2 people's needed for this.
Well, Cassie, my dear, this is turning out to be just a wonderful trip that we're going on.
Well, they don't call it an adventure for
I'll
anything.
remind everybody, can you please get out of the car? We have to jack it up here, and if you all
Okay.
stay in there, it's just more weight to jack it up.
We're sorry. Yes, we'll get out.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's all going well. Sammy, you've probably done this in the past. You know how to do all this.
What's the landscape look like where we are?
It's still very wooded. You're in the back hills, backwoods. It's basically been a dirt road you've been on the whole time. I believe the road you're on is actually called Hook Road. And let's see, everybody except Sammy and Jerome, give me a listen roll.
Listen.
I made it.
Okay, I just need.
Oh, actually, I didn't. Never mind.
I didn't make it.
thought I had points in it, but I don't.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. What was that? Make a listen roll.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to my roll? Oh, wow. Yes, I made it.
So, Harriet, off in the distance, you hear a car. It sounds like it's getting closer.
I hear a car. Do you guys hear that?
No.
I'm pretty sure it's a car coming this direction.
And sure enough, just over the ridge, you see a car kind of putting along, heading towards you guys.
Is it a car, or is it a truck, or is it a...
It's a car, yep. Let's see, model
I try to hurry up a little bit more, changing the tire, and I say to Jerome, "Who's coming towards us here now?"
Drone didn't hear you.
That's you,
He's hard of hearing.
Oh. Yeah.
What?
This, I believe it's a Model
Is
T.
there a car coming, Jerome?
So it's an old Model T, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
And as it's getting closer, it's starting to slow down, and a little roundish man with whitish hair, little close cropped beard, kind of sticks his head out, and he says, "Hello. Don't see many strangers out this way. Are you guys lost? Need help?"
Just having a little trouble with the car.
We're fine.
Okay.
We're trying to find our way to Bridgewater Creek.
Blackwater. Yeah, no, it's Blackwater.
Blackwater Creek. That's why we can't find it.
Yeah, Blackwater Creek. I actually am just coming from there. It's you're right. You're almost there. Just pretty much head over this hill, and it's about another mile or so down the road.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
If you don't mind, why? It's a little, nobody visits Blackwater Creek without a reason. Is there a reason you guys are going there?
Well, we're in search of a person. One of our professors back at Miskatonic, he came out here for some sort of study, and the college believes that he may be missing. So we're just coming out here to check up on him to make sure that he's okay and see if he needs any other help.
Him and his wife.
Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope everything is okay.
Have you heard anything? Any people from out of town in this area?
Other than myself, I'm not from the area. No, I can't say has anybody mentioned it to me.
Dr. Harriet Bundy, nice to meet you.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name's John Merritt. Nice to meet you.
And I'm Cassandra. Nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you.
Professor Clark, I reach out my hand as well.
Nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little hard of hearing.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Do you know anything, or can you tell us anything about this town?
I can tell you one of the reasons why I'm out here in this godforsaken hole. I've been called in by several of the farmers in the area. They've been having problems with some of their livestock.
Oh, are you a veterinarian?
I am.
Wow.
I'm a medical doctor myself, but of the human variety.
Oh, nice. I will tell you, I am baffled.
What baffles you?
I don't even know how to describe it. There is definitely something going on here. I've come across several animals across several farms in the area, so it's not just like it's in one location. And these animals are, I guess the correct word is diseased in some way. They're acting strangely. They're spooked. They have growths on them where they shouldn't have. There's like a. If I'm getting too graphic, just tell me to stop. But there's like a black pus that oozes out of them. There's even been some small animals that were stillborn, and when they were born, they were actually covered with like a thin mold. It's gotten to the point where I basically just advised the farmers that if you suspect this of happening to any of your livestock, it's best to destroy the animal.
That can be very financially difficult on the farmers.
Exactly. Right.
Well, I mean, I know you're a veterinarian, so you probably wouldn't know this, but did it seem like their food or water was contaminated?
That's a good question. I didn't necessarily see any signs of that.
Yes, or poisoning, perhaps.
Could be.
How long did you say you've been out here for, Mr. Merritt or Dr. Merritt?
I've just been out here for a couple of days.
Oh, okay. And do you know how long this has been going on for?
They all kind of have been saying the same thing, that it's been a couple months since it's happened.
Did you, while you were in there, did you happen to see, and I'll describe what the professor would look like, any man that looks like this, somebody that maybe looks like an outsider?
I don't think so. I mean, I pretty much was dealing with the farmers themselves directly, and I think if somebody was an outsider here, I would probably know it, or they would probably tell me.
Okay.
How did they act towards you? We've been told that they're not exactly the most friendly bunch.
You've probably been told correct. Now, I was called in. They wanted me here, and they wanted me to help them, so maybe they were being extra nice to me. But I would say be cautious.
Are you heading towards one of their farms now, or?
I'm actually headed home. I gathered a few samples. I'm going to go home, make some phone calls, talk to some other veterinarians, see if I can't find a solution to this.
Excellent. Well, the road, it was a pretty bad storm last night. Be careful on the road.
Yes, thank you. I will.
All right.
Nice to meet you, Dr. Merritt.
Yes. Safe travels.
Yep. And with that, he putts along in his old car.
It's going to take him 7 hours to get back to Boston in that Model T.
Oh, and I yell as he's putting away, watch out for the road. We got a flat up there. There might be debris or nails or something like that in the road, so just be careful, or you'll be stuck like us.
Thank you, will do.
So there's
how has Mr. Stack finished the tire?
Yeah, we'll say about a half hour goes by. He doesn't have any problems, and you guys can get back on the road.
Cool. We don't have too much further to go.
Yep.
Well, that's interesting, Anna. It seems like some sort of disease is going on. So I would advise everyone here not to drink the water.
Yeah.
Probably wise.
We have to drink some water or we die.
Yeah.
We can't get bottled water. It's probably just an animal disease of some sort. There's all sorts of those.
Yeah. Well, let's just be cautious.
He didn't mention anything wrong with the people.
True. But
what's it called?
Well, don't eat any hamburgers or anything from these people.
Well, we can drink water, but just don't try and drink from the slough or anything like that.
Yeah.
There.
Well, of course. But if this is sort of a backwoods or back country town here, so they may have well water. That well water might be polluted. Who knows?
It's possible. It wouldn't be the first time that well water has actually caused epidemics.
Well, not really, Nana.
I still got my bottle off of the truck there.
Also, if you're
Anybody can pull off this if they want something to drink.
Yeah.
If you're worried about drinking water, just boil water. Then that's a
Right.
simple way of doing it.
Best to
Oh,
stick
yes.
to your coffee.
Yeah. Well, you know, Nana, you did read that medical journal about what happened out in London back in 18. I think it was like the 1850s. I'm not sure, but it was a
I
huge.
think, my dear, you may have misunderstood what I said.
Perhaps.
I said it's not the first time that people have had an epidemic because of well water that was
Okay.
contaminated. Yes,
You're
the
absolutely
cholera epidemic. Yes,
Yeah.
very famous.
See, Nana, I do read those magazines that you send.
Yes, I'm proud. Now maybe you'll get a better profession than this one. Stop hanging around crazy people. But
So you guys come to the crest of the hill, and after a bend in the road, you come down and you see a few buildings up ahead of you. And you're pretty sure it matches up pretty closely with the hand-drawn map that you got.
did we have a name for the people that they were staying with?
They couldn't remember.
Darn it.
We had an address though, right?
You didn't have an address. I did give you one clue, but it was a very minor clue. If you want, you guys can do an idea roll to see if you remember it.
Okay.
I make that one with a 51.
I got a 4.
4.
Nana, you're sharp tonight.
Oh, 0-1.
Oh, wow.
He got it. Curses.
You remember the students told you that they couldn't remember for sure, but that they think the name started with a J.
Okay.
Or maybe it was a C.
It was
J or a C.
It was a G. I think it was a J or a C, but don't really know.
All right, so let me quickly describe the town to you. So again, this is just a small little farming community. Just a series of about, 7 or 8 houses or buildings. There's a schoolhouse, like a one-room schoolhouse. There's a church. There's a few, I guess you would call them houses. They almost look like shacks, though. I mean,
Right.
to be kind. There's a little general store. And down off in the distance, you can see kind of like, just before the road kind of turns again, it looks like you can see the covered bridge, too.
That's probably going over Blackwater Creek. My suggestion is probably the two best options we have are to go to the general store or to the church. The general store guy might not be so friendly, but I imagine the guy at the church would be friendly.
Well, let's hope.
Let's go to the general store.
Well, as they say, Dr. Bundy, money talks. So I think if we head to the general store and
Yeah,
show up
either
with
way,
our greenbacks,
one way or the other will help.
these yokels will appreciate some money, I'm sure.
Well, yes, just as long as you're not calling them yokels.
I think the good thing here would be to split up and let's have the lady folk go over to the church. I'll handle over at the store.
All right.
I can go check over at the church.
I'm going to go to the general store too. That's where I'm gonna go.
All right, you guys check the general store. I'll check the church. I don't know where Cassandra wants.
I'll go with you, Nana.
Okay.
Okay, so the two women are checking the church. Everyone's else is going to the store.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Just stay out of trouble, gentlemen.
I'll keep an eye on Cassandra.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sammy, where are you going to park?
I don't know.
How about
We're
park in
about-
front of the store?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Like
Sounds good.
across the street or.
Now, you see, like, it's not an empty town. There's actually a couple kids playing. They're kind of like half clothed. You know, they don't have any shoes on. There might be a dog or two running around.
Okay.
This reminds me of some of the third world countries I've practiced archaeology in.
No comments like that, Professor. Please. We don't want to upset these people more than they'll be of our own presence here. So try not to say stuff like that in front of them.
If you
Third world
insist.
countries, this reminds me of where I grew up when I was a kid.
Well, that explains a lot, and Professor Clark gets out of the car.
I would have thought, Mr. Stack, you were a city boy.
Well, apparently you haven't been to the poorer parts of the city there, Harriet.
I can see that we're heading towards the scary, creepy old church.
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
So just to set the scene for you guys, that's what you're looking at for the church, and the general store is not a whole lot better, but at least it looks occupied and looks like it might have seen a coat of paint in the last couple of years. All right, so let's see. Let's go with the church ladies first.
All right.
Well, isn't
Ladies
that
first.
special?
Ladies
Isn't that
first.
special?
So you walk across the street, and there's kind of a clearing. It's all still a little bit muddy. Give me a spot hidden.
Okay.
Both of you.
And I missed that one.
I got a 13, so I made it.
Okay.
Lucky number 13.
You notice that the building to the left of the church, it's a small house. There's a guy sitting on the porch. And he's just eyeballing you. He's just watching you guys.
How is he dressed?
White shirt, jeans, boots. Nothing
But
really.
not necessarily like a reverend.
Not necessarily.
Okay. As we start walking towards the church, and I guess sort of towards the house too, I say, excuse me, do you know where we could find the reverend of the church?
He looks at you guys. He kind of leans over the railing and he spits. And he says, "How do you do, ma'am? You're actually talking to him."
Ah. And I go, Harriet Bundy, and I hold out my hand.
Cassandra King. She holds out her hand as well.
Nice to meet you. My name is Richard.
Oh, Richard.
Oh, pleasure to meet you, Richard.
We were wondering, we've come out here looking for a friend of ours who seems to have gone missing. And I can't remember his name.
Professor Rhodes.
Professor Rhodes. That's right. We're looking for Professor Rhodes. Have you by chance seen him? Do you know who he is? He came out here a few months ago with some students.
Yeah, I do believe I remember the guy. Yeah, and the students. There was a bunch of them. There was a handful of them, right?
Yeah, there were 3 students, and he was with his wife.
Yeah, I do remember them. A couple months ago.
Have you seen them around? Do you know where they might be?
I don't.
Or do you know who they were staying with?
I believe they were staying with the Jarvies.
Jarvies.
Makes sense.
Excellent.
And where can we find the Jarvies?
I think you probably past it. It's just a little bit down the road where you just came from.
Ah.
There's a little dirt road turnoff.
Okay.
You want to go down that road, and about, I don't know, maybe about a mile in, the road's going to fork, and you're going to want to head to the right.
To the right. Excellent.
Thank you so much, Reverend.
You've been. Can I make a donation to your church? And I reach in and actually, I'm imagining. I guess we would have been carrying purses, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Would we?
Well, yeah. I have to accessorize.
So I pull out $5.
Oh, thank you, man. That's much appreciated.
You're welcome. And so we're gonna walk now towards the general store, and I say to Cassandra, perhaps he can use it to fix up the outside of his church.
Yeah, come on. Don't get like these guys here. Come on. Let's be nice.
Reverend that spits? What is
Hey.
this place that you've brought me to?
Hey, he's not Catholic, so.
Not in Massachusetts, no. Probably he's a godforsaken Unitarian or something like that.
Well, we all can't be perfect, can we?
Well, no, not all of us.
And you guys said you were heading back to the
General store.
store? Okay.
Yeah.
The others. So.
As you guys turn around, he'll also extend the invitation. Tomorrow's Sunday. If you guys are not doing anything, you want to attend services.
Absolutely.
Services around 10 o'clock.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you so much. And they said people here weren't kind.
Give me another spot hidden.
The both of us? Cause the first one.
Yeah.
Okay.
16.
Oh, man. 83. Nope.
So it wasn't exactly hidden, but it was behind him, leaning up against the house. You noticed there was a shotgun.
Yeah, well. Somebody's got to eat rabbits.
Yeah, and somebody needs to stop complaining and offending his church for the way it looks.
My goodness, it's like having my mother around.
I give you that look, like, yeah, see, now you know how it feels, man.
So let's go to the first group that went into the store, and then shortly I'll have you guys join them.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys enter the shop. It's a large single-story building. It's actually called Baxter's General Goods. It seems to be well stocked. There's a few niceties. There's some food. There's some grain. Some bolts of cloth. Behind the counter, there's a few guns, some ammunition, several barrels of local corn. And there's a gentleman behind the counter.
Okay. Is he the only one in the store?
He is.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to him and just say, how do you do? We're from out of town, if you haven't noticed. We're looking for a gentleman by the name of Professor Rhodes. Have you seen anyone from out of town recently in the past few months?
Few months. I do believe. I mean, we get people kind of in and out as they drive through.
Mm-hmm.
But the name does ring a bell.
Okay.
Okay.
Is he just kind of like eyeballing me, or can I do a psychology roll? Is he like, do I notice anything strange?
Give me a psych roll.
Okay.
Can I make a psych roll on him too?
Sure.
I got the psychology roll.
Okay. He's a little, what's the word? Standoffish, maybe.
Okay.
A little crotchety old man, kind of.
Okay. I'll say, all right, thanks. Thank you very much. I heard you guys were having some trouble with your livestock in the area.
Yeah, I've heard talk of that. I don't know much about it myself.
Do you sell a lot of the? Are you responsible for selling a lot of the livestock, or do the farmers kind of take care of that themselves?
The farmers pretty much do their own livestock. Yeah, I pretty much, I sometimes provide them the supplies that they need, but.
Must be hard on the business.
Yeah, we make ends meet.
Okay.
Can I interest you in anything?
Yeah, sure. I'll take some of that. I don't know if they have candy or something on the on the sill.
Absolutely.
I'll grab some hard candy or whatever they got lying around.
Sammy, give me a spot hidden.
Just Sammy?
Yeah, just Sammy.
Oh yeah, I made that one.
Nice.
Surprisingly.
You notice there's a door in the back, and it kind of leads to the back, which you can probably make a pretty good guess that it's probably where he lives. And you notice kind of in the doorway, or just beyond the doorway, there's a crate, and it looks like a crate full of moonshine.
I'm gonna go up to the counter where Professor Lewis is. Oh yeah, you got any like beef jerky or something here in some of these jars?
Yes, sir. I believe we do have that.
All right, I'll pull out that 45 cents from the diner. I'm not sure how much one costs, but
probably about 3 to 5 cents.
Couple.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll buy we'll say like half a dozen of them, and then I'll kind of rib Professor Lewis to come towards the back of or away from the counter with me.
Okay. I'll kind of nod my head towards the general store proprietor and head off with Mr. Stack. Yes.
Okay, then I'll there's some of that moonshine there I see behind the door. You see that door over there? And I kind of slyly point so that the storekeeper can't see, but you see that door over there and kind of what's beyond that door, that crate there? Do you see that?
Oh, yeah. Must be augmenting his income somehow.
I think there might be a little bit more to it than just that.
Do you think he's kingpin of the bootlegging business in these parts?
Well, it pretty much would make sense. He's the store owner. Everyone would come to the store and could slyly buy whatever they wanted to.
Would you like some moonshine, Mr. Stack?
I still have my little bottle. I think there's more going on here than what meets the eye, is all I'm saying.
Well, our mission here, if you've forgotten, is to find Professor Rhodes and ensure his safety. I think we can leave their illegal business to themselves.
We'll say that the ladies have entered now.
Okay. All right, and so I'll say, Mr. Stack, I'll bid you adieu.
Oh, they're quite well stocked, aren't they? Let's see what they've got.
This candy's actually quite good, Dr. Bundy. I'm not sure if you like hard candy.
Oh, yes, especially if it's like butterscotch.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I would like to, I don't know how to say this, but if everyone else is coming into the general store, when the storekeeper is slightly preoccupied, I would like to try to get a closer look at what's beyond that closed or semi-closed door. If that's possible. I don't know.
Well, it's the doors behind the counter. So I think you would actually, like, you can see in it, but I don't think you could, like, go behind. You'd have to go behind the counter to get to it.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought it was at the other end of the building. Okay.
Yeah. Give me another psychology roll. Whoever rolled last time. I think it was
Okay.
Jerome.
Oh no, it was me. I don't make that one.
Jerome, did you roll last time? I think you rolled.
Yeah, I rolled last time. Give me a sec here. I'll roll right now.
Yeah.
Last time I failed, but we'll see what happens this time. And I just make it.
Okay. You noticed that the crotchety old man kind of lit up with a smile once you guys started doing business with him.
Okay.
Well, I think he liked it when we did business with him.
Perhaps
Well.
I'm more inclined to answer your questions.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't really have any other questions for him though. He seems.
Well, I get some butterscotch if they've got it.
Oh, Nana, let me pay for that. You don't go in your purse
Really?
while I'm around.
I'm a doctor, and you're a...
But I brought you out here, and
What are you again?
I'm an investigator.
Yes, okay. All right, I'll let you pay.
Thank you.
And I'm looking around rather. So in a way, I guess I could say I want to do a spot hidden too, but I'm really not looking specific. I'm looking at everything, just sort of to kill time.
Give me a spot hidden.
Okay. Now let's see what that is. Spot hidden. Oh, I did make it, but not by much.
Okay. There is, you notice, like I said, the store's pretty well stocked, and there's also, they're in a farming community. So, like, there's the corn that I mentioned, and there's some vegetables and things like that. And you notice that the vegetables and all are large, like a green pepper is almost twice the size as what you're normally used to seeing.
So they've got some good soil out here. Perhaps, and I say this to Cassandra, perhaps we should find out if the general store owner knows where the Jarvises live.
Sure. You can do that. Yeah. I'll ask while you continue to,
My goodness, look at these vegetables.
So I'll go up to the general store manager and I ask about they're called the Jarvises, right?
The Jarvies.
Jarvies.
What are you asking again?
I'm asking. We're looking for the Jarvies. Did we pass their home?
Yes, ma'am. You probably, I think I saw you guys pull in. You probably passed it. It's a little dirt road, right, just down the road.
Oh, thank you. You wouldn't happen to. I don't know if my friends may have asked you this, but would you have happened to see a doctor, a professor? He had a team of young students. They were supposed to be doing some sort of archaeological find out here. He went missing, and we're looking for him. Would you happen to have? Well, would you have happened to have seen him while he was here?
I do believe I recall seeing him. Yes, it was him and a couple others, if I remember right.
Do you know where they were? They had their camp set up. I guess it would be considered a camp. What they were actually looking for while they were out here?
What they were looking for. I did briefly talk to the professor. Professor, right?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I just remembered. I believe that he bought some dynamite.
Right.
Oh, right. I remember him now, for sure. Yes, I actually sold him that.
Oh, okay. Why would someone need dynamite? Is there? Well, I didn't see any sort of mountains or rock formations or anything like that. You usually use dynamite for that, right?
So, I'll back up real quick. There is a mountainous range to the right, or to the, let's see, north, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so like this town is sort of kind of at the foothills of those mountains.
Oh, those not okay. So I take that back.
Mhm.
I said, oh, well, what are up in those mountains? Has anybody? Do you guys go out and I guess travel up there, or does anybody live up there?
Not that I know of. It's pretty much just all wilderness area back there. I mean, people might be hunting out there, but
Okay. And what sort of game do you guys have out here?
the usual. Just there's some deer, lots of deer actually. You might run into a bear out here. Just if you're staying outside, I'd recommend just take precautions.
Okay. And I look at his gun rack.
Mhm.
And say, I see that you sell those precautions here.
Exactly. Right.
Quite nice. Quite nice.
At this point, I kind of sidle up to the sill and just say, "So, dynamite. That's kind of a strange thing to buy. Did he explain why he needed that?"
He told me that he had to clear an old tree stump,
Oh, okay.
and
Okay.
I believe I don't. That's not something I'm just going to sell to anybody. So usually, what I do is I have them talk to the sheriff, and once the sheriff gives me the okay, then we're good.
Does the sheriff live here in town?
Yeah, he's actually right across the street.
Oh, okay. Okay. Excellent.
Interesting.
I'm going to kind of walk over to Dr. Bundy real quick, and I kind of see her, eyeballing the large vegetables. Can I do a biology roll on the vegetables and see if that's kind of like within normal limits, or if it's like too extreme, I guess?
I don't even think you'd have to roll because it's
Okay.
basically it's about double the size.
Okay. So that would be within normal limits then, I guess.
Within normal, but on the high end of.
Okay. Okay.
It reminds me, my dear, of a Walla Washington apple. I had one once. They were like the size of a cantaloupe.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I believe we have some apples still left over.
I'm gonna ask him. Where roughly did you get your? Is your produce locally from here, or is it from out of state?
Yeah, almost all of it is local. Every now and then, if we start to run low on something, I might make a phone call and get something.
I'm just wondering where roughly did you get what farm did you get these magnificent peppers?
Yeah, they're from all the different farms in the area, not one.
Not just like one Pacific? Okay.
What does this guy look like? Is he just like your average bar or storekeep guy, or?
Pretty much. He was an elderly man. Like I said, kind of crotchety at first. You guys interrupted him reading his newspaper. But once the money started flowing, he cheered up. He's basically a businessman. So.
Okay.
But yeah, he's got the same thing, kind of a little white hair, plain white shirt, plain jacket.
Well, do you guys think that we should go to the sheriff's office after we leave here? Perhaps ask him a few questions?
I think that's an excellent idea.
Let's see.
Is it just a question here? Is there like a role for like general uneasiness? Like you think something's weird or you just don't feel right type role?
That's not a role. That's just called Call of Cthulhu.
No, I know. But I'm just wondering if you wanted something like that,
So I guess I would just ask you, like, if there's something specific you would like to know.
No.
Okay.
No. Just I guess I was aiming towards spookiness is all. So Okay.
Let's see. Does anybody have Does anybody have points in charm?
Base.
Just base, yeah.
Charm. I don't think I don't have any
Yes,
charm on my.
Yeah, Cassandra.
I bet Cassandra does.
Look at her.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they can't see your. Well, they can see the.
Don't you have like an 80 appearance or something?
It's Lana Turner.
Yeah, he's a little bit smitten with you in a slightly creepy way.
Oh, that's okay.
She's used to it.
So yeah, go ahead and give me a charm roll.
Okay. Let me move this real quick. And that's an 8.
Oh wow.
Nice.
So now that he's in a much better mood, you guys have bought some things. He kind of starts to open up, and he starts just kind of jabbering away. And he starts to tell you a story. Let me do a screen share, and one of you can hopefully read this. Can you see that?
Pretty small.
I can
Wait.
try, I can try to enlarge it if you want, and then I can scroll.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit.
All right.
If you could zoom in a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
better.
easier.
All right, that's good.
And I'll just try to scroll when you get to it.
Who wants to read it?
I can read it.
Okay.
All right. Hawkins' story about Cade's rest. Summary of the Confessions of Ezekiel Cade. Cade starts by discussing the threat to the Quakers presented by the Puritans in Boston in 1660 and his decision to lead his family and friends to find somewhere they could live in peace. They headed north up the coast and eventually followed the Miskatonic River inland, finally stopping when they reached some fertile land at the base of a range of hills. They set up a small settlement there away from civilization and lived peacefully for months before meeting the Sikaluk, or Black Earth tribe. Initially, Cade's followers and the Sikaluk coexisted amicably. The Sikaluk were shunned by all the local tribes, and the Quakers were the first people they encountered who would trade with them. In exchange, when Cade's son Daniel was gored by a stag when hunting, the Sikiuk? I think. Sikiuk.
Yeah, it's actually a real tribe named Sikiuk, I believe is how it's pronounced.
Sikiuk, okay. Took them to their sacred spot to be healed. Daniel wasn't the same when he returned, though, claiming that he had seen the devil. While his wound was healed, he sickened in other ways, growing mad and violent. When Cade asked the Sikiuk what they had done to his son, they took him to the sacred spot and showed him their elders. Cade's narrative becomes incoherent at this point, mentioning demons made flesh and abominations in the earth. He fears that they have corrupted all that they have touched, and not even those who are strong in their faith are safe. In the following section, Cade admits that, maddened, he fled the valley and vanished for several months. His faith and his desire to live by peace failed him, and he resolved to do what needed to be done to contain the corruption. In time, he returned to the settlement, bringing a boat up the river, bearing hired guns and barrels of gunpowder. To the horror of those who had once looked upon him, he led the destruction of the Sikiuk. He then ordered the mercenaries to turn on his own people, knowing them to be tainted, and burned all the bodies together. In time, Cade returned to Boston. His narrative degenerates again, and as he starts believing that the taint of the settlement has come to Boston with him in the flesh. He was forced to shun human company, gaining a reputation as a leper, and resolved to leave Boston and live out his days in seclusion. His narrative ends with a plea for forgiveness from God, from his family, and from those he murdered. It's disturbing.
Interesting.
So he's happy to have finally found somebody that he could share that story with.
And isn't that where they were going to try to find Cade's rest?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's what he told me too, yeah. That's what I remember telling the story to him too, and he seemed very interested in it.
Ooh. Interesting.
Where is this Cade's Rest?
Well, that's this town.
Are there any unusual places you think that he was looking? He had written that he had found some evidence of an archaeological site that he wanted to look at.
Maybe somewhere up in the mountains.
I believe, I haven't been there personally, but I'm pretty sure they had a small dig area down by the covered bridge.
Oh.
Down by the bridge. Okay.
We can check there. Now I'm asking the GM this: how far away are the mountains? I mean, are they like if we were to go outside and look, how far would they be? Would they seem like miles away, or would they seem sort of closer?
Probably, let's say about 2, maybe 3 miles.
Okay, so not so far.
Yeah,
So-
that would be like where the foothills start, and then they would kind of goes up kind of quickly.
So I asked the manager, at any time while he was here, did you hear any dynamite go off? I know he brought it from you, but did you hear anything like that? And would you be able to, I would imagine you would be able to hear dynamite going off.
I would think so too, but I'll be honest with you, it was a while ago, and I don't really recall.
Are there any, and I'll use the phrase.
It sounds a lot like thunder.
Yeah.
So.
Are there any Indians currently living in this area? Or have they all moved on, or?
Good question. I'm going to say they probably have all moved on.
Okay, so there's no NPCs or whatever that we
Right.
can look up. Okay,
Right.
That was my meta game there.
Good question.
Professor Clark, what's an NPC?
It's an archaeological term. Never you mind.
Ah, okay.
Where are you folks staying?
Well, we just got here. We don't really know.
Yeah, we were hoping to find the
Jarvis.
Jarvis.
But is there a hotel in town or a motel? Well, we don't have a motel yet, so.
No, I'm sorry. I'll be honest with you. I believe the last professor probably stayed with them also. They're just a nice family, nice couple.
All right.
Well, we hope we can find the professor soon and be out of your guys' hair. We probably shouldn't be here too long. So.
Yeah,
Oh,
good
well.
luck with everything. Let me know if I can do anything.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you so much for all your help.
Shall we head up to the Jarvis?
Well, let's maybe go by the sheriff's office first.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as we're
before-
walking out, I say, that's the second person here who was pretty nice. I don't know why they're getting such a bad reputation.
Yeah.
Before I leave,
And I tell you guys about our encounter with the
With the Reverend.
Reverend. Yeah.
Oh,
before
that's
I
good
leave,
to
I
hear.
sort of go over to the storekeeper and I say, "Oh, I meant to ask you. I heard that you have church services on Sunday. Can I ask what denomination the church is?"
We're non-denominational.
Non-denominational. Okay.
Yeah.
So we leave,
Okay.
or I leave. So we're heading towards the sheriff across.
Yeah.
The street, yes.
Right across the street.
So, as you leave the store, everybody give me. This is going to sound weird. Everybody give me a listen roll.
Listen.
What? Just
Nope. I don't make that one either.
I don't make that either.
I do. 29.
Jeez, Grandma.
I don't know. The dice roller loves me, I guess, today.
Hates me. Always hates me.
So it wasn't a listen. It was actually a smell roll.
Okay.
You
Ah.
detect a smell in the air. It's a mixture of sweet and pleasant, and yet at the same time a little bit off, a little bit foul.
Like a smoke or a.
Or is it like maybe dead flowers or something like that?
Give me an idea roll. See if I can describe it a little bit better.
Well, I didn't make my
Yeah, I'll let
my
just
smell roll.
Just we
I
don't
missed
find
my
it.
smell.
I have no idea.
Yep, that'll be it for now.
Okay.
Now, you guys are standing on the porch of the general store. There's actually a couple kids down on the porch too. It looks like they're playing jack. And as you're standing there, you're looking. You don't really see a sheriff's office.
What
What
like
is
nothing
directly?
across? Yeah.
Directly across the street is the same preacher house that you saw, that you just came
Oh. Well, maybe he's the preacher and the sheriff.
Yeah.
That's sufficient.
I guess it is.
Is he still sitting there?
from.
So, I guess we walk towards him, and I'm like, "Hello again. I'm sorry to bother you. Are you also the sheriff of the town?"
Yes, ma'am.
Ah.
Oh. That makes sense.
Is everything okay?
Oh, yes.
Well, yes, we were just following up another lead on our friends, and they suggested we speak to the sheriff, but we've already spoken to you, so.
Do you recall? I'm Professor Clark, by the way. It's a pleasure to meet you, Reverend, or Sheriff. I'm not sure what you prefer to go by.
Well, you can just call me Richard.
Okay. Do you recall a discussion about getting dynamite for our missing professor?
I do remember that. That's something you don't usually forget.
Yeah, it seems kind of strange to us too. Did he explain to you what his purpose was for getting the
He
dynamite?
basically said that, if I understood it right, he was from a university.
Yeah.
They were doing a dig or something like that, and he said something about he had to remove a tree stump or something.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
And do you recall that actually going off? Do you remember hearing the blast?
Yeah, I do believe it was within a day or two after he bought it. I heard a loud boom.
Okay. So
Wow.
so you didn't supervise the dynamite explosion? Was he
No, not really,
sufficiently
Yeah, I mean, he looked like an upstairs
able to do that? Okay.
I say aside to Cassandra, I say, well, that's interesting because the students told us that he took the dynamite, but he hadn't used it yet when they left. So between the time that he purchased it, they were here, and then they left, and he used it after they left.
Yeah. That's actually pretty weird.
Because he had said to the students that he had intended not to use it after all.
Right. And so that's, I'm curious too. I'm wondering if.
Because
Yeah,
the archaeological dig would have been over with. He had given up.
Well, he told the students he's given up. Perhaps.
Right.
Well, let's our next stage should be to go down to where the dig site was, or that particular area.
Well, perhaps we should go to the Jarvis first.
I think.
Well, yeah. Well, that's a
Yeah.
smart idea as well. Let's get settled in and perhaps even give them a little talk, and see if they know anything.
The sheriff will ask you, is there anything in particular? Like, why would you ask that about the dynamite?
It's just something that we remembered from the students who were with him, that he had purchased dynamite.
Well, and Richard, I'm also a professor of archaeology, and from what I can tell you is that is a strange thing to do. As archaeologists, we're trying to preserve the past, not blow it up. So you would have to use that for very specific purposes.
Yes.
Interesting.
But I suppose if you needed to blow up a tree stump that badly, but
Yeah.
Professor Rhodes is a little was a little he would play by the seat of his pants, I suppose. So.
Dr. Clark is not a big fan of Dr. Rhodes.
Well, I don't think we need to go into our personal relationship, but if there wasn't anything else from my compatriots, we'll bid you adieu.
And I'm sorry, ladies. Did I ask you what all brings you all into town?
Well, we are just
Yeah.
that we're looking for Professor Rhodes.
Yeah.
He's
And I asked you
he's
that
been
already?
missing for a couple of months.
I asked you that already.
No, you didn't.
Oh,
But,
okay.
I thought that we more or less said it to him when we
I
thought he
think
was
we
just
did,
a
yeah.
reverend.
Okay. I'm sorry, my memory gets a little foggy. And you notice, he's sitting in his rocking chair and he's got like a little tin cup.
Mm.
can I roll a listen roll to see if
Listen?
that's
Listen, flash
a
spell.
moonshine that he's been drinking?
Give me either a psychology.
Psychology? Okay. Nope. Jeez, I'm rolling like a bum today.
Just give me a second. You guys can talk amongst yourself. I just want to read this over real quick.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think we should head up to see the Jarvies.
Jarvies,
Yeah, and then we can examine the dig site afterwards.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan to me.
So if you're going to head for the Jarvies, I just want to give you a heads up. Remember I told you, I think I told you, to make a right when you get to the fork in the road?
Right.
Yes.
Be aware that if you made a left, you would be heading towards the Carmody farm. And those gentlemen are not as nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So just keep your wits about you.
Good to know.
Thank you.
And by all means, if there's anything else I can do, let me know. I didn't even know the professor was missing, so.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, he may just be spending some time with his wife and enjoying the country.
But we're just here to check on him and make sure he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you another question, just quickly? The students that were with him, how did they behave when they were in town?
Behave, as in.
What were they?
I didn't have
were
any
they-
trouble with them, if that's what you meant.
Okay. Did any of the other townsfolk have any trouble with them?
Not to my knowledge. I
Okay.
don't remember exactly how long they were here, but they pretty much stuck to themselves. Yeah.
Do you remember one of them getting sick?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
No. Okay.
Well, you've been a great help to us. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes, thank
And
you.
It looks like what time is it, by the way?
Let's say mid-afternoon, 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Well, I tell them, well, it looks like we will be staying overnight, so I guess at least me and my Nana will see you tomorrow morning at service.
Great.
What time does service start?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock? Okay. Well, we'll make sure we're there.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the invitation.
Mm-hmm.
And so kind to us. And I said, all right, let's go to the Jarvies.
Yeah, let's go there.
And as you leave, you hear him spit off the porch.
Is he like chewing tobacco? Like when he spits, does it come out red?
Yeah, it's like just a nasty color.
Okay.
So
So then I look at Nana and I say, he wasn't trying to be rude towards us.
No,
He's
of course
just
not.
spitting out.
he was just being the sheriff when he spits, and he's being the reverend when he's helpful.
Yeah.
Very funny.
All right,
And-
so shall we push forward?
Yes. Get that
Yeah,
in the
let's push forward.
car.
Nana, you look tired.
Um, It was quite a night last night.
Yeah, it was.
Let's see if I can find a map real quick.
Here, have a butterscotch, my dear.
Oh, thank you. And I put it away because I'm
What-
not
what
getting anything.
Would anyone else like a butterscotch?
I'll have one.
I'll
thank
have
you.
one, please.
So I give you guys butterscotch.
I had the cherry. It was very good. So I'll have the butterscotch now.
All right, so you guys get back in the car, or are you gonna walk?
Oh,
That's-
we're gonna get back in the car, aren't we?
Yeah, let's do the car because it's. You
It's
said
about
it's
a
like
mile.
a
A mile
mile
up.
up. Yeah.
And it's probably still muddy.
Yeah.
Cassandra's in high heels.
Well, my heels broke last night when I was trying to run away from that thing.
All right, so you start driving down the road. It's a dirt road, obviously. There's farm fields on the left and the right of you. It looks like a modest wheat field. Kind of is like a. It borders the cornfield. You get a little bit closer to the house. There's a pasture used for grazing cattle. And I'll go ahead and show you the map as you pull up, so you can get a.
Well, as we're pulling up, how did the cattle look? Or are there any cattle out?
Yes, there's a few cattle still out in the field. They're kind of a ways away though, so it's not like you could get a good
Okay.
look at it. Let me show you the map.
Hmm. We got pigs and we got cattle and we got.
And good sized farm.
Hmm.
Wheat. What's the state of the buildings? Are they pretty worn, or have they been whitewashed recently, or?
They are whitewashed, like you said. They're, they're modest means, but they look like they've been upkept.
Okay.
Unlike the church.
I bet we can smell that open cesspit in the pigsty.
Oh, I'm sure.
There's a whole mess of smells going on here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In fact,
Chicken coop.
In fact, as you pull up that driveway there, you'll notice on the right-hand side it says bonfire.
Yeah.
Mm.
You see an elderly man, and he's actually in the process of burning something.
Okay. Not unusual in the country. That's how you get rid of a lot of garbage. Is you throw
Yeah.
it in the
Yeah.
Mhm.
Makes sense on that. Should we go talk to him and see what's up, or should we just keep going on?
Well, I mean, this may be his farm.
This is
might
the
be
farm.
his gardens. So, yeah, let's go up and introduce ourselves. We don't want to.
Yeah, let's park maybe by the bonfire and kind of get out there and introduce ourselves to
Do we see any other
old
cars?
timer.
Or like a truck or something like that, like a
Yeah.
pickup truck.
From the professor.
Oh yeah.
Apologies for reading. You do not.
Hmm.
So you pull up, park, get out of the car, and approach the gentleman. And he kind of is looking at you. He's kind of eyeballing. He's like, not every day that a strange car pulls up in his driveway. You guys did make a left or a right?
Made a
Made
right.
a right. Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
But the map that you showed us was for the Jarvis. Cassie, why don't you take the lead on this thing? You're the investigator.
Yes, but I'm a
I'll introduce.
I'm a woman, you know. So
Howdy there.
How do you do? What can I help you with?
We're doing all right. Sorry to barge in. We are here. We're obviously from the city. We're here looking for a gentleman by the name of Professor Rhodes, and we were told that he may have stayed here, or he may be staying here at your farm. Do you mind if we ask you some questions about our missing friend?
No, not at all.
Okay. By the way, my name's Professor Clark. I kind of reach out my hand.
Nice to meet you, sir. My name's Malcolm Jarvie.
Malcolm Jarvie. Okay. So is Professor Rhodes here?
No, I haven't seen him in a couple months, actually. I thought he left to go home, actually.
Oh my. Okay. So he was staying here, though.
He was, sure. Him and his wife, actually.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did they leave together?
I assume so.
Okay. Wow, yeah, we were expecting to find him here. He hasn't showed up in town, so that's really strange.
That's distressing.
Yeah.
while Lewis is going around and talking to him, I want to pick up on his mannerisms. I want to see if he seems fidgety or nervous or anything like that.
Do a psychology roll.
Sure. And hopefully I'm not going to roll like I've been rolling all night. And that is a failure. Again. Blimey. All right.
Well, I'm listening. So can I do a psychology roll also?
Sure.
Now we'll see if in fact this thing is like giving me great numbers. 93. That is a great number.
Well, I'm busy talking to him, but after I'm kind of done, I'll probably do like a little assessment. So, Mr. Jarvie, do you live by yourself here?
Oh, no, sir. My wife is here. My son, Theodore. I think it's Theodore. Pretty sure it's Theodore. Theodore, yeah. And I have a couple farmhands, too, that stay with me.
A couple farmhands, okay. So, do you know what Professor Jarvie was looking for? We're a little murky on that. Did he kind of explain to you at all what he was looking for?
If I remember right, he was basically just here from his school, and he was doing some sort of an archaeological dig or something like that, trying to find out about the history of the town.
Yeah.
And did he seem to have any conflicts with the neighbors?
I hope not. I don't know if anybody told you, but there's another farm just over the way there, the Carmodes. They're not a pleasant bunch.
Yeah, the sheriff let us know about
That's what we've been told.
Now, by unpleasant, do you mean that they'll just yell at us, or do you mean that they'll chase us away with shotguns and axe handles?
Well, I guess it all depends on how you approach them.
Now, when the professor was here, did he have a car?
Yes.
And when he left, he drove out in his car. So,
Not to change the subject too much here, Mr. Jarvie, but I noticed you have quite a large cattle shed. We had run into a veterinarian on our way here. Have you been having any trouble with your livestock?
Dr. Merritt.
Dr. Merritt.
Yes. Matter of fact, as you're standing there talking, you realize you're standing in front of the bonfire, and he's burning a pig.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Oh, that's what that smell was.
It smells like
good.
bacon.
Yeah, it does.
Now, can I ask you, when did you start noticing the trouble with your livestock?
It's not all at once, and it's not like I'm pretty much burning this sow here just out of caution. I don't want it to spread.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe a month ago, maybe a little bit longer.
Around the same time that the professor would have left, right?
I can't say for sure. I think he left about 2 months ago.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So he's been gone quite a while. Well, that's definitely concerning. Did he say he just said that he was going to go back to Arkham then?
Well, I don't think he really said anything at all.
Oh.
I just
Was he
assumed
acting? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I just assumed that, him and his wife didn't show up again, and I just assumed that they went home.
Were they acting strange maybe the last few days that they were here?
I didn't know the man all that well, but he did kind of strike me as a little odd.
How so?
Just, I don't know, just his mannerism changed. They seemed like a nice couple when they got here. And I don't know, I can't quite put my finger on it, but it seemed like he got like panicky or upset or something.
So, yeah.
Well, I was just gonna say, did one of the students get ill while they were staying here with you?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I hope they did.
We, I'm sorry to ask this, but we traveled actually out here from Boston, from Arkham, and it's been quite a long drive.
You guys traveled in this storm last night?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
awful. We actually had a tree come down in front of us. It was quite sad, but we finally made it. We didn't know that there was no place to stay in town. Is it possible we can compensate you if you'd allow us to stay here with you overnight?
Yeah, I'll have to check with the missus, but I don't think that'd be an issue. We actually did it for the professor when he was here, so
Yes, we can certainly compensate you financially.
Yeah, absolutely.
it's not necessary, but it would be appreciated.
And I'd be happy to take a look at the animals for you. I have a little bit of training in biology, and I'm sure Dr. Bundy might be able to provide her expertise
I
as
am
well.
I am a medical doctor.
Oh, you're a doctor. Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Why don't
And not just a pretend doctor like Dr. Lewis.
Ooh, burn.
Gotta get that dig in.
That dig,
So,
archaeology.
A dig, oh my god.
So let's say that he walks with you guys up to the farmhouse there, and he'll yell for his wife, Edith.
Edith.
And she'll come out. She has a ruddy complexion, plump health about her. Makes her look like everyone's favorite grandmother.
Oh.
Well, no. She's not everyone's favorite grandmother. My favorite grandmother is standing right next to me.
Sorry, with Malcolm's appearance, does he look pretty ragged? Does he look pretty hardy? Is he, just kind of a hale and hearty kind of farmer guy, or is he?
Malcolm Jarvie is a tough, wiry-looking man,
Okay.
early 60s, mostly bald with a fringe of white hair that flicks around in the slightest breeze. He's got a flannel shirt on, overalls, work boots. Squints a lot.
Gotcha.
He's a farmer. He's
Yeah.
probably 35.
Right. Out of the elements. Okay, so we meet Edith, and
I'm very glad to meet you.
yes.
Yes, so she welcomes you in. You guys tell her the whole story again. She's not able to offer you a whole lot of new information. She's happy to have you stay at the house, although she does apologize, though. The bedroom is really only big enough for 2 people. If you're up for it, we can do like what we did for the other group, where the professor and his wife stayed in the bedroom upstairs, and the rest of them stayed out in the barn. I do have sheets and a couple quilts I can give you, so it'll at least be clean.
That's fine. I don't mind sleeping in the, out in the haystack or whatever. Saw you have a little shed out there for the hay.
Exactly.
Cassie and I'll take the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll give that to the ladies.
That makes sense. So let's just everything goes fine. Is there anything else anybody would like to do?
Well, since we still have a bit of light out, once we get all settled, I'll suggest that we can go down and check the site where he had set up. He and his other students.
Let's say it's about 5:30 in the evening.
Okay, so never mind.
Yeah, it's probably sun's gonna be setting soon.
Setting soon. Okay, let's.
Well, how about we stay around and we'll help
Edith
and them prepare dinner. How about
Yeah,
that?
well, us
Supper.
supper.
Excuse me.
Us ladies will help prepare dinner. You men
can go help butcher or whatever.
Rest.
Yeah.
Go out and smoke your cigars or pipes.
Corn cob pipe, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever you guys do.
So let's you guys. So let's see, who's out in the barn?
I'll be out in the barn.
I'll be out in the barn.
So all the men basically.
Yeah.
So you guys get settled. She brings you out some clean sheets. You guys can make a makeshift bed in the hay. Everybody give me a spot hidden.
That's just the barn people.
Yeah. I make it.
I'm sorry, Jeff. Was that just the barn people?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, it's just the barn.
I actually got a 16, which is lower than my 50% or my percentile.
I failed on mine.
Okay. Now, the linens and stuff make it feel clean, but let's be clear, this is a barn.
Yeah.
And you, Professor, get a little bit of a weird feeling, almost like you're being watched.
From inside the barn, or is it someone on the outside looking in?
Yeah, like as you're like setting up your bed area, you get that odd sensation, like somebody's watching you.
Well, I'm gonna kind of calmly sort of fold out my sheets a little bit, and then I'm just gonna kind of walk around the perimeter of the barn.
Inside or outside?
Well, I'm assuming it's not huge inside, right?
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
okay.
I mean,
so yeah, I'll just walk outside, like, and pretend like I'm smoking a cigarette or whatever, but I'm kind of keeping an eye out on the outside.
give me another spot hidden.
Okay. I think I just barely made that. Yeah, I did.
So there's nothing really unusual, but as you turn the corner in the back, you see a rat scurry off.
A rat. Okay. All right, so I finish my cigarette, and then I go see if I can help out Malcolm with anything.
Mm-hmm. Malcolm basically doesn't have a whole lot more to tell you. He did tell you that the sow was showing signs of this supposed infection.
Yeah.
It had like open weeping sores on its skin.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as he saw that, he's like, "Yeah, I just don't want to take any chances. I just decided to put her down."
Okay. And is this the first animal you've seen that's had this, or have you had to do this a few times?
I had a cattle. I had one cow that I put down also. The rest of them, so far, so good. They seem okay. I'm a little worried about old Brutus out there.
Mm.
And Brutus, in case you were going to ask, is the male pig.
The male pig, okay. Well, if we're cooking meat tonight, let's just make sure it's overdone. Well done. Any illness in the family at all?
No, I believe everybody's actually feeling pretty good, actually.
Okay.
So, ladies, let's do... Well, so let's so you guys have a nice dinner, normal chit chat, and you meet their son Theodore. Unless there's anything specific you want to talk to him about, we can.
Well, how old is Theodore?
I think he's in his 20s or 30s. I don't. I'll try to stop for him. Let me look it up real quick. Yeah, he's probably about in his 30s or so, 30s or 40s.
Okay.
Does he seem normal or?
Yeah, maybe a little slow, but nothing unusual.
A little slow. Is he at least handsome?
Give me a luck roll.
Oh wow.
Cassandra's gonna take advantage of the
Naive farm boy, yeah.
Oh, I got a 29.
So yeah, we'll say he's good looking.
All right, so all throughout dinner, and we're talking, I will smile at him, here and there, and start asking, what type of stuff that he does, what does he do around the farm, and just make idle chit chat. But whenever he's talking, I'll appear to be extremely interested in everything that he does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just normal chit chat, like I said.
Does he go by Teddy or Theodore?
It's Theodore.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's try to do this. In the course of the conversation, he did warn you about the Carmodes. Everybody give me an idea roll.
Everybody in here, or?
Yeah, I just need one person to pass. That's all.
Oh, 5.
That'll do it.
I failed it.
Wow.
So you would remember that when you were staying back at the diner, the farm truck had the logo on the front, and it actually said Carmody on it.
Okay.
So I get why they're so apprehensive. They make moonshine, so they don't want anybody coming in on their illegal enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
And I'm guessing the Carmodes grow corn rather than wheat on their farm.
Exactly. You probably actually saw the corn too.
Yeah.
And probably would have noticed too that it was kind of like the green pepper. The corn looked really healthy. Like, I guess what a normal stalk is about 6 feet. So this was a good 8 to 10 feet maybe.
Oh wow.
I kind of whisper to Dr. Bundy and kind of say, strange. The flora seems to be thriving, and the fauna seems to be diseased.
Yes, that's very strange. I'll be happy when we get back to the nice, simple life back in Arkham where nothing ever happens. We could visit the Carmodes and tell them that I've been closer to their son than anybody else.
I don't know what happened there, but it kicked me out, but I'm back now.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, good.
Nothing. It was just a little chit-chat conversation about the Carmodes and
Malcolm, he says, you know what? You're all going to think I'm crazy. Last month, I saw Brendan Carmody, and he was out in the field, out by the road, and it was creepy. He was covered in bugs.
Covered in bugs?
Yeah.
God.
Like spiders, ants. It was gross. And yet, he didn't seem to mind it.
Oh.
I'm not a superstitious person, but I can't help but think it maybe witchcraft.
Has this family had dealings with the occult?
No, not. I can't really say that, to be fair.
Okay.
I think that when we were back in, did that place where the diner was, did that have a name?
Orchard Run.
Yeah, Orchard Run.
On our way here, when we were back in Orchard Run, I think that we may have run into one of their sons. Rather big fellow with, well, to be quite frank, not everything all together there.
That could be. That sounds like Daryl. I believe there's 2 sons and the father. I haven't seen the father in a couple months. And I think there might also be a couple hired hands there too.
Daryl and his brother Daryl.
Exactly. Real creative family.
His brother's names, he would know this, is Brandon and Damien.
So it's the 3 boys and mom, pa on the farm out there?
Just the father. I don't really know what happened to the mother.
I don't know.
Well, we may have some insight into what they're doing on their farm.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. We've suspected it for a long time too, but it's not exactly a secret in the town.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing for them to worry about. We're not.
It's a stupid law, but
I think so too.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you all look like city folk. I mean, maybe it's more of a city thing, but out here it's not a big deal.
No.
I don't know if you noticed, but even the sheriff invites.
Yeah, Professor Clark's going to say, yeah, we noticed at the general store they weren't trying to hide it.
Well, not
too
too
much.
too well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there's it's just a half-hearted attempt. It's
Did we lose Gunter? We did.
Yeah, he had to go.
Oh, did he actually say he had to go?
Yeah, he said he had to leave.
Okay. Well, I assume that the ladies chit-chat with Edith and...
Yeah, does Edith have anything to say? Like, we'll ask about what's going on in town, if anything strange has happened, or did she notice anything peculiar with the professor or the students while they were here?
She's probably pretty much just going to tell you the same what you've
Yeah.
already heard already. Yep.
Okay.
So shall we all to bed?
What? Just real quick, what did we eat? What did they serve us?
Let's see. What would a farmhouse serve you?
Okay, so just regular farmhouse,
Yeah.
like, okay, pork
Maybe
chops.
some country ham, some potatoes.
Yeah,
mashed
right.
potatoes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't touch any of the meat.
If they've got some of that Pennsylvania Dutch, there's probably 5 desserts on the table.
Yeah, apple pie. Yeah.
Apple pie, cherry pie, cake.
From the orchard up the road.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Then I guess we'll kind of head to bed. We've had kind of a long day, and
Yeah.
Let's see.
Excuse me.
Give me a spot hidden, everybody.
Okay.
I failed that.
I got a 36, so
Failed.
I make it.
Since he's not here, it's easy target. You notice Sammy's not looking too good.
Hmm.
He seemed fine
Yes,
earlier. I'm sorry. What?
I asked if he's okay. What's up? Are you okay?
Yeah, he says I just haven't been feeling myself. Just got a bad headache. Is all really.
Oh.
Okay. You should stop drinking that moonshine.
Yeah.
Could be what it is. And let's do one more thing. Everybody, give me a listen roll.
What?
I failed it.
I fail by 4, but I will push. I'll spin luck.
Okay, nice.
I passed.
Okay, 2 passes.
Oh, I got an O2.
Oh, even with your hearing.
Even with hard of hearing, I got.
All right. So this is a little hard to describe, but you it's not even a listen per se. It's more of a feeling or a sense. There's like a nagging low tone or low frequency, and it's almost like a steady pulse, like a thrumming or a beat.
Like too low to actually hear, but you can sort of feel it in your chest.
Yeah, just it's not even, you're not quite sure you hear it or it's just a sense or.
Okay.
I've been there before.
And you only kind of really notice it like when there's a moment of silence, like when people have stopped talking. You know, it's like it's not overbearing at all.
Just like a sort of a hum in the air. Okay. Well, of course, we're not used to that because we're from the city, so
Right.
that's what silence sounds like.
And unless anybody wants to do anything, we'll say everybody wants to retire for the evening.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
We'll do. We got a couple more minutes. Let's do. So everybody in the barn, the gentlemen.
Yeah.
Give me another spot hidden.
Oh, 99. I'm out like a light. That hits the...
Long day of
hits
travel.
the- yeah.
Let's see if I see anything. It's loading up. Come on. Yeah, I got a 38.
38. All right. Is that an extreme or is that just a normal?
I think that's just a normal.
Okay. Um,
Do you want me
It's
to roll
kinda-
for Sammy? Oh, sorry.
yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
50. I don't know if.
No, we'll start
No.
you.
Okay.
So Jerome, it's late at night. You're in this barn. You got a candlelight going probably. You're cautious though to not knock over the candle. And just as you're about to blow the flame out, you realize, like up in the side wall there, there's a whole bunch of spider webs and all. And
Okay.
you have this weird feeling like the spiders are lined up on the little 2x4 there, and they're watching you.
Like,
Give me a sanity roll.
okay then.
I am so glad I'm in the bedroom and not the barn.
I fail my sanity.
So just do a give me a d6.
Okay. 4.
So it'll just be 2 points.
Okay.
And I think we'll stop it there, unless there's anything else anybody wants to do specifically.
Great. Spiders staring at people. Neat little spiders all in a row. Anybody? No?
Nope. I'm asleep. I crashed.
I'll ask before we sign off, because I guess when we start back up, we'll probably be starting the next day. Anything happening with me or my grandma?
No, we'll just say
We follow.
you guys are settled in nicely. Like you said, you're very glad that you're not out in the barn. It's a nice little room. Modest decorations, but clean.
Mm-hmm. And as I'm tucking myself into bed, I'm thinking about how great it is to be a woman right now. The perks of being a woman.
Yeah, you might not always be treated fairly or with the best intentions, but there are some perks.
Exactly.
Yes. Indeed.
Good night, Nana.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Good night, Malcolm. Good night, Edith.
Good idea.
And I guess good night to our viewers. I want to thank our investigators for their participation, and thanks to our viewers for watching. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and if you liked our show, give us a thumbs up. Tune in next Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next episode of Blackwater Creek. We'll call it that from now on. Until next time, always remember, if there's no light left to guide your path, your only choice is to venture into the darkness. Good night and good gaming.